but we will start today talking about Team USA and the World Cup. We've got a game going on here over PLG's shoulder that is at halftime right now. England and the
Democratic Republic of Congo.
Democratic Republic, not the Dominican Republic, the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
I stumbled on it too a minute ago
at halftime.
Because I wanted to say the same thing.
A 1-0 Congolese lead over England in that match.
Yes.
So we'll keep tabs on that, but obviously what everybody's looking forward to this evening, at least here in the States, Team USA facing Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32. A real opportunity for this American team to build on the momentum that they created in the group stage, because this is a Bosnia team that, if they play to their optimum level, the U.S. should be able to beat.
Yes, I agree. I mean, so they're, 61st in the world right now, according to the FIBA's rankings. We're up in the top 15. So on paper, we should, take care of business. But as you've seen in the last couple of days, there are countries getting got. Germany got upset in penalties. Japan was up on Brazil for a long time before they had to come back. So don't sleep on Bosnia. I mean, we have to take care of business. But, the thing that I would say optimistic about in hearing Pochettino talking in his presser yesterday is that he's just not letting this team enter that mindset of looking forward to the next game, and they are simply looking at this game and saying this is a World Cup final. That's how they're treating it. That's how they treated Paraguay. That's how they treated Australia in all the friendlies leading up, and they're solely looking at this team right now. We have to beat them first before we can move forward. But yeah, so I'm excited. It's going to be a very, very I think a lot of people are going to tune into this match. They've been getting like millions and millions and millions of viewers, like growing every match that's gone down the road. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Are you a USA fan, by the way?
No? My hat, did I give it away?
I bought this a year ago.
Are we talking about the soccer team or the country, though? Like, there's a difference lately.
Give your takes on that.
The one thing that maybe helps, though, relative to, like you're talking about, hey, Germany got. We're talking about England
could potentially get got
at halftime. Paraguay is 34th in the world rankings. Congo is 35th in the world rankings. Bosnia is 61st. Like, if the U.S. gets got tonight, that's really bad.
It would be very, very, very bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That'd be
concerning. No, I was just going to say that, we beat a pair of guys. Paraguay. Get it? Get it? Anybody got a dad joke for the guy here? No one? Nobody?
Listen. We work on a show where Andrew Seeley is at that desk on the regular. There are worse jokes that have been made in the history of this show.
He would have gone back and forth.
He would have. Yeah. He would have. Yeah, no,
He's probably sitting at home in Plano right now like, dude, what the heck?
He's like, they like that? They don't like what I say? The first match that we played against Paraguay was electric. Obviously, we were offensively, scoring.
Yeah.
It was just an explosion of goals. An explosion of goals. And, clearly when we beat Australia, I think, again, we started off hot and didn't let up, and obviously held them scoreless.
Yeah.
Turkey, guys are resting. We had some time to afford for folks to hit the bench if they needed to. We pulled a couple of guys in, I think, when we were getting it close toward the end.
I think some guys got some valuable minutes, too.
Yeah.
If they get used later on down the road.
But that's the great position to be in when you're in, this, obviously when you're about to win the group stage is, hey, we don't have to play everybody. We're good with some of the guys who are not starters.
Yeah.
We can kind of give Turkey a little bit of a run even with those guys.
Yeah.
And then not only that, you come close to winning at the very end, if not for a late goal.
Yeah.
And so, obviously the Bosnian tier here is what I would put us maybe in the top 16 of teams. If we don't make the 16, I would be disappointed. I would say Bosnia is below that in the next tier, of the 32, which that's where we're in right now.
Yeah.
And so, it's a favorable place to be. You'd want to be in this place if you're Team USA.
They are beneficiaries of the new expanded playoff and the fact that they got through by beating Qatar, who is arguably worse than
just
that.
about as bad.
Just about as bad as they are.
They're 59th in the world rankings.
And then scrapping a draw against Canada, they got the 3 points they needed to advance in the third place spot, and one of the last third place spots too.
Yeah.
So we should.
They
on
are
paper
not the lowest ranked team in the field.
Okay.
There is Cabo Verde
Yes.
is 64th. Ghana is 65th. They both have games upcoming against Argentina and Colombia, respectively, on Friday. And I think that's the bottom of the barrel in the round of 32.
But I mean, shout out to them for even obviously Cabo Verde is probably the biggest story in the World Cup,
right?
Yeah.
And then having to go against the Goliath defending champion Argentina, that's a a match that I'm super excited to watch for too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, can you dethrone the champs?
Could you imagine if they go to penalty? If Ozinha keeps a clean sheet, 0-0 draw, and they go to penalties or something, and then it's a crapshoot from that point.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be top tier theater.
I think if the USA gets past this, and then we can get because we would play Senegal or
Belgium,
Belgium.
The winner of that game,
and that's going to be a much tougher Belgium specifically. Well, Senegal's good too.
Yeah, they're top 15 as well.
Yeah. So if you could get past that, if the USA team somehow finished 8 in the group,
Senegal
of 8,
is currently 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they would
they
be close
dropped
to us.
from 15 to 18.
Because
just in
these
the last,
rankings are live too. So I mean,
right.
So
this is not the official pre-World Cup rankings.
Who's
What you're
ranking
seeing
us?
now? This
FIFA?
is
Yes,
the
correct.
official FIFA
Okay.
Coca-Cola men's world rankings. Because apparently Coca-Cola
Take note.
is
Take
a
note.
sponsor that they're cool with letting everybody say and talk about.
Of course.
Everybody else, you shall not pass.
Where are we?
The U.S. is at 15, up 2 from 17 pre-World Cup.
They kind of teeter
they're-
between 14 and 18.
Okay.
Depending on
We do?
Yes.
Okay.
In the last year and a half or so,
Okay.
depending on the results. I mean, they come out less frequently prior to the World Cup. They made it live right before the World Cup so that they could do this where you do a knockout round and then
Right.
you can raise them or lower them. But yeah, but we've been a top 15-ish team for the last World Cup cycle.
Sure.
Belgium's ranked 10th, but they have not really played to that paper so far
Exactly.
Right.
in the tournament.
Which is why I think that Senegal could beat them in the knockout stage.
So obviously that bracket would have to be settled, and then Portugal and Spain would likely meet each other
If they win theirs,
if they
yes.
survive.
That would be their round of 16
Which means we wouldn't play them until we beat Belgium or Senegal. But I
Correct.
mean, I just think our path. I don't know what we
lays
did
out-
to grease the wheels here, but we're in a good position.
It's definitely one of the better paths than other nations.
Well, and I think just look at the way that the tournament was set up. I think they laid it out very intentionally. If, it wasn't just always going to be, hey, the U.S. and Mexico and Canada are going to have easy paths through the tournament. But I think what they may have done is said, if you take care of business and win your group,
you get
then
to,
you
get to
will.
stay in Mexico. You get to stay
Yeah,
in Canada.
right. It's
You get
favorable.
to stay on the West Coast in the United States.
Is that common,
Yes.
by the way, in World Cup? Play?
Kind of. I mean,
Ish.
Because we were mentioning something about, I think Mexico, the last time they went the distance was when they were playing in Mexico, correct?
Yeah, but I mean, they were the sole host nation in that. The only time there's ever been more than one host nation was 2002 when it was South Korea and Japan together.
Interesting.
And so this is the first ever tri nation, or a whole continent doing it. And then the other piece of it is that you don't have to deal with as many time zones in these other countries. Like Qatar, we did it. A story on it last in that World Cup where the entire nation of where the stadiums were was smaller than DFW.
Yeah.
And so as far as travel goes. And so you don't have to deal with, going from the West Coast to the East Coast or whatever, hot in Mexico and, all that kind of thing. So, I mean, it's definitely, I don't know, it would be a lot harder to win in this World Cup than in years past.
That's interesting. I just felt like the host countries get a little bit of a...
But to Mike's point, they did kind of give the host nations a out. If you take care of business, then you have a easier path, quote unquote, in terms of just where you go.
Yeah. You look
Now,
good
Mexico's
in that jersey,
opponent
man.
wasn't all that. They had Ecuador,
Oh, no,
but they handled business just fine last night.
They did.
So.
Yeah. I was going to say, you look good in that jersey.
You look at that.
Hey,
jersey.
man. Team USA
Do
playing
you
tonight?
like America?
Hell yeah, damn right I do.
Did
Let's
we
go.
just become best friends?
Yep.
Do you want to go do karate in the garage?
Yes. Of course.